friends, welcome to Stories by Shubha and welcome to this very special edition of Stories, Census Stories, because हर घर एक कहानी कहता है and today's story is Not to be Counted. Sahil was one of our enumerators. Enumerators are those people who go from house to house counting people. But he was very cheerful and very sincere. While most other enumerators would cover up nearly 25 to 30 houses every day, Sahil would only cover about 20. And you know the reason why? Because Sahil simply loved going to homes and meeting people. He would greet everyone, chat up with everyone, and in fact, he would even carry chocolates in his pockets. So, in a house, if he came across little children, he would immediately bring out those chocolates, offer them to the children, and actually bring a smile on everyone's face. The government had already provided an app for self-enumeration for citizens, and so those homes who had already done it only needed to show their specific ID number. And yet, in such a home also, Sahil would chat up with the residents. And by Jove, he would be full of stories at the end of the day when he usually called to report in. It surprised me, therefore, one Sunday morning when Sahil called me. An early Sunday morning call simply meant trouble. Maybe he was having some trouble with a resident who was not giving him the required information. Or maybe somebody must have got very angry because they were disturbed by Sahil early morning on a Sunday. Or whatever it was, I was in no mood to listen to any of his stories. It was a holiday for me as well. And I really wanted to relax and unwind myself. However, Sahil sounded serious on the call. Maybe he had come across a difficult, a rather stubborn family who were refusing to share details. Madam, यहाँ एक घर में कुछ गड़बड़ है, he said in a faltering voice. गड़बड़? मतलब? What is wrong? I asked. I don't know, madam. I can't point out really, but I didn't feel comfortable. I felt like hitting Sahil. Didn't feel comfortable couldn't be described as a complaint really. Not comfortable means what, Sahil? You don't have to visit homes and count people for comfort. Did they shout at you or refuse to give information? No, ma'am. ऐसा तो कुछ भी नहीं है. अरे तो what is the problem then, यार? Ma'am, I somehow feel that they're not telling us something. They're hiding something. But what is it that they're hiding? I can't really put my finger on it. I really wish that you came down here, ma'am. Just once. Please. I was really in a fix. I couldn't understand what was bothering Sahil. And frankly, even he failed to explain anything. Sahil was a very sincere enumerator who had never complained about anything in the past. He handled things very nicely. Angry outbursts from residents, people refusing to share information, some of them even refusing to let him inside their homes. But Sahil had shown immense patience. The smile on his face remained permanently. And today, if he was feeling uncomfortable, then surely there must be a reason. Oh God, but it was a Sunday today. I had work to do, social obligations to fulfill, friends to meet. And most importantly, the census area under my supervision was almost an hour's drive away. But I don't think I had an option. And hence, wearily, I told Sahil that I'll try to come as soon as possible. Sahil took me to a society that had large palatial bungalows adorned with lush green lawns and well maintained gardens. Every bungalow had a couple of big cars parked in their driveway. Richness of the people living there was obviously evident. It was a society of the rich. I wondered what could go wrong in such a residential area. Sahil was waiting for me outside bungalow number 21. He was strangely quiet, not the cheerful self that he usually was. Ma'am, I can't figure out what is wrong in this house, but something is definitely wrong. The couple inside, they were very good, but still I instinctively felt that there is something wrong. Please, ma'am, please, let us visit the house once. Maybe you will be able to find out. The door was opened by a lady with a broom in her hand. She was obviously the domestic helper. The moment she saw Sahil, somehow her face changed color. She asked us to wait outside and gently closed the door. Bemused, we stood there for a couple of minutes before the door was opened again, this time by the lady of the house. She looked at Sahil questioningly and did not ask us to come inside. Sorry to disturb you, madam, but my enumerator here, Sahil, he visited your house a couple of hours ago and took all the information as well. But somehow there was a glitch in entering the information in our app. So we will have to register everything once again. Somehow the lady didn't seem very happy to see us. Of course, she asked us to come inside and we entered the house. And I tell you, friends, the house was beautiful. You could see brightly painted walls and expensive furniture, and more than the expenses, my God, the aesthetics of the drawing room, the entire house actually were breathtaking. It was very tastefully and so beautifully decorated. And I wondered, what could go wrong there? At the far end of the room was a staircase, and as soon as we sat down, we saw the lady's husband descending down the staircase. He was dressed in typical Sunday morning clothes, track pants paired with a t-shirt. He must have been in his mid-30s. He greeted us with a smile and asked his wife to get us some cool drinks. We opened the app and began to ask the same questions that Sahil had already asked a few hours ago. Vivek Kumar began to answer our questions one by one in a very cheerful manner. The smile actually never left his face. I began to doubt Sahil's assessment of the family. They were answering each question without flinching. We would finish in another 5 minutes. I began to boil internally. The crazy drive amidst heavy traffic for an hour, that too on a Sunday, which was my day to relax and unwind, for re-questioning a family that was answering so truly and correctly. As our conversation was going on, Sumitra, Vivek's wife, offered us a glass of refreshing Aam Panna. Just then, their little daughter, who couldn't have been more than 5, came trotting inside the room. She ran to her father's arms. Vivek Kumar lovingly lifted her in his lap and enclosed her in a tight hug. Sahil immediately reached inside his pockets and took out some chocolates. Now that was a temptation she couldn't really resist. She stretched out her hand for the chocolates. Sahil placed one bar of chocolate on her palm. But the little girl pushed out her other hand too. "Give me one for Bhaiya also," she said emphatically. Bhaiya? As in elder brother? Well, in the census counting, the family had only mentioned one female child, and that was her. I looked questioningly at Sahil. He appeared to be equally perplexed. No, no, no. Varsha, Varsha, chalo, come here. Bhaiya doesn't like all this. Vivek then turned to us. You see, our maid has a son who sometimes comes over along with his mother. And Varsha calls him Bhaiya. So she's demanding the chocolate for him, you see. I don't know why, but I found Vivek's laughter very strange and hollow. Both of us just smiled back and continued to sip our ampanna. But from the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of Vivek threatening Varsha to keep quiet. He called out his wife. Sumitra, take Varsha inside. She will finish her chocolate there. Sumitra appeared from the kitchen and took Varsha inside. By then, the little one had begun to cry. I want one chocolate for Bhaiya, please. Sumitra had to literally drag her out of the drawing room. I looked at Sahil and saw the puzzled look in his eyes also. Yes, there was something discomforting about this family. But what? We really had no idea. Anyways, we continued with the rest of the questions. But I noticed that Vivek had become uninterested now in the entire process. He was mechanically answering all our questions. The smile had vanished from his face. It appeared that he just wanted to get over and done with the process, and he really wanted us to leave immediately. After some time, we heard Varsha crying from the room inside. And Vivek, he hastily got up, rushed to that room, and closed the door. When Vivek came back, his mood was not the same. And now he began answering our questions in a standing position. He did not sit down on the sofa. Both Sahil and I, we clearly got an indication that we have to quickly ask our questions and leave. Well, of course, we got up to leave because both Sahil and I realized that we were not wanted anymore. But we were very surprised that as we left the house, we heard the door being slammed behind us. Strange, definitely discomforting. I agreed with Sahil that there was something fishy. That little girl crying over the maid's son, and the maid vanishing after opening the door for us. The sudden change in Vivek's behavior for some reason. Well, I was as confused as Sahil was. Sahil and I walked slowly back towards the society gate in absolute silence. There was no reason for us to linger on anymore. I reached my car, but I noticed that another car was parked right behind it, blocking my car totally. The expensive car blocking mine was black in body and also had totally black windows. Strangely, it was in a running condition. I bent down to peep through the driver's window to request him to move. The moment I bent down, the car door swiftly opened, startling me. A uniformed chauffeur got out. Within those few seconds, however, I saw that a lady was sitting in the rear seat with a young boy. I immediately recognized the domestic helper from bungalow number 21. She was holding the hands of a young child, not more than 10, and trying to feed him something. She was stunned to see me as much as I was to see her. The driver hurriedly backed the car and literally sped off from there, as if he had been caught red-handed stealing something. I'm telling you, we smelled a dead rat for sure. Sahil was an ace at striking conversations. Armed with some tea, biscuits, and wafers, he indulged the society security guard in some casual banter. अरे साहब, वो तो पागल है. आपकी भाषा में what do you call mental something, right? The Kumars were a very wealthy family. Vivek Kumar was in the real estate business and had properties all over the state. Soon after his marriage to Sumitra, they were blessed with a son. But a few months later, it was discovered that Vinay was afflicted with the Down's syndrome. Vivek and Sumitra couldn't accept the fact that their son was not normal. They rejected him right away. But they didn't have the heart to abandon him completely in an orphanage or give him away to someone. So they chose the next best possible option: hide him from the entire world. Vinay would be kept in a large room upstairs with lot of toys and books and all the modern gadgets. There was a TV, a music system, video games, and he had a full-time caretaker too. But he was never taken out of the house. He was not permitted to meet neighbors or other children in the society. He wasn't sent to any school for the special children either. Vivek and Sumitra had another child, a daughter, 4 years later. She was thankfully normal. They showered all their love on her, and she was exhibited everywhere as their child. Little Varsha, however, had become hugely fond of her elder brother. The brother-sister duo were almost inseparable. But little did she understand that her brother was a persona non grata for the world at large. He was an object of shame for the parents, someone who had to be hidden at all times, and who was not to be introduced as a member of the family in the census counting. जब भी कोई बाहर वाला आता है ना साहब, तो Vinay is sent over to Pushpa's room. The servant quarter is just behind the bungalow, and he is hidden there for days together. 2 months back, Vivek sir's niece got married. For nearly 11 days, the house was full of guests. In fact, some foreigners had also come. तो विवेक साहब ने विनय को पुष्पा की सिस्टर के घर भेज दिया था साहब. They emptied his room of all his toys and other things as well. Poor boy. He is very loving otherwise, साहब. He really cares for his sister. I just hope that when Varsha grows up, she will take full care of her brother and not become ashamed of him in any which way. ये तो भगवान की मर्जी होती है ना साहब. We shouldn't disrespect God's will. देखो आगे क्या होता है. I have to this day not been able to answer Sahil's question. Is Vinay to be counted or not to be counted?